When I was young, well, younger as I'm still very young, I watched a movie called Help, I'm a Fish. I couldn't tell you where I was when I first watched it or what my initial views were on the film, but I can tell you that I haven't heard anyone speak about it for the last 15 years, until I recently saw someone tweet about it. And I just knew it was time for me to put on my nostalgia cap and get watching. Hey guys, I'm your girl Key, and as the title may say, I'll be doing a bite-sized review of Help, I'm a Fish. So firstly, please do bear in mind this isn't a product of DreamWorks or Disney, so there isn't a special once upon a time formula that their movies usually hold. The movie is a great standalone film which combines animation with science fiction. The story follows three kids: Fly, the impulsive preteen, his innocent little sister Stella, and their anxious cousin Chuck. The three sneak out to go fishing but end up meeting Mackerel, a marine scientist whose lab is hidden on the shore. He informs the children about a formula he's made which can rewire human DNA, therefore transferring humans into sea animals. The scenes which take place in Mackerel's lab have many subtle moments of foreshadowing which hint at future events. For example, Fly, the protagonist, walks into a stuffed flyfish, which mirrors his character design once he's transformed. It's a couple of blink and you'll miss it moments that I know I wouldn't have noticed as a child. Especially since the pacing of the film is quite fast. One moment Mackerel's explaining his new invention, then the next Stella's taken a sip and it's been turned into a starfish. It's a quick beat of events that have all children transformed into a sea animal by the first 20 minutes of the film. The children are told that they have 48 hours to find Stella and the antidote, or they'll remain as fish forever.
Wait! If you don't get the antidote within 48 hours, you'll be a fish forever!
While, on the other hand, audiences are shown that the children have another problem on their hands. The formula has spilled into the sea, and Joe, our antagonist fish, voiced by the late Alan Rickman, has gained human intellect and plots to build a society of other intellectual sea animals to hold power over.
I believe we have acquired the power of speech, my voracious friend. I can talk. I can think. What a delicious beverage. Can you feel the power? Can you taste it?
The kids do have a few hurdles to get over before the end of the movie, which I commend the creators for. I see many animated films have one weak issue that characters have to solve, which usually weakens the plot of the film. In this film, the children are constantly being put in situations which make you feel as if they won't be able to get back into human form. The film purposely doesn't shy away from the fact that the children are in real danger. The prospect of being forced to live out as a fish forever is very worrying, and the level of optimism our protagonists show deteriorates more and more as the film goes on.
We gotta get some more antidote. How much more time left?
12 minutes till sundown.
We'll never make it.
What do you mean? Tell me how we're gonna make it.
I can't. You were right. There's not enough time.
So, I'd have to give this plot a strong 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect and pacing might be a little quick, but the issues were fully fleshed out, which kept me at the edge of my seat. The voice acting was also very strong throughout the movie. As we know, Alan Rickman is a seasoned actor, so his villainous voice came with great ease.
Oh no, that won't be necessary.
I insist, just let me hold it.
The bottle stays with me.
As dictatorship is a theme explored throughout the movie, Rickman's voice created fear as his character was in a place of power. I can't think of many villains written like Joe's in other animated films, so I was impressed with his portrayal. Small, but very powerful. It was no surprise Rickman was the only English actor in the movie, as if the evil British trope hadn't been used to death. I also enjoyed the movie's character design as it was clean and very well constructed. The background sets may have lacked in detail due to its dark colours, but it contrasted the vivid character design well. You have to applaud the creators since the movie was pre-Finding Nemo and Shark Tale. It wasn't trying to look like its successors and was going by its own rules of colour composition. If you look at the characters' initial design as humans, it's very showing of early 2000s animation. With thin-lined animation, a splash of CG and muted background colours, the film fits perfectly into the millennial age of animation. It reminded me of the 20th Century Fox Anastasia or the Page Master, who kinda did try to emulate Disney magic, but we'll ignore that for now. Visually, the film is quite pleasing and well animated. My only issue is how empty the overall world felt. I guess I can kind of turn a blind eye to the emptiness of the ocean since its size, but the scenes which were on land were very empty. There aren't any pedestrians or cars driving past, which made it feel as if the family were the only people around. I guess the creators did this so the characters looked as if they lived in an isolated place, but I wouldn't mind seeing a few people scattered around, especially since there's so much crowd scenes in the ocean. It's a little nitpick, but one that really stood out for me. The soundtrack that accompanied the movie was a mashup of simple pop songs and in-movie anthems. The lead song was sang by Little Trees, a Danish pop band that was filled with cheesy lyrics that are still stuck in my head a week later. The songs are fine, I guess. It's nothing to rant and rave about, but it does date the movie slightly. It was giving me very early 2000s dance music where girls wore low-rise denim jeans and glitter tattoos around their belly buttons. And they say music now is dead. Although one song I did enjoy was Joe's villain anthem, Intelligence. I'm a sucker for the villain song. I really love Hellfire by Judge Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin.
And this song is on the same level to me. I guess I just like characters who have a god complex to either sing their issues or sing their plan to me. Or maybe it's just a strong British accent that gave me chills, but the slow theatrical voice over a soulful pop beat had me rooting for Joe's evil scheme.
Come join me and seize this opportunity. Alter your destiny. One single drop will be enough to put you on top.
The soundtrack isn't the greatest when compared to iconic movie albums, but definitely go and give this a listen, just to hear Alan Rickman sing.
One ocean, one ruler of all. It's the vision I've seen. It's the world of your dreams. It's a pearl in the palm of your hand.
Without sounding overdramatic, the climax of the film is what you will see in nightmares as a kid. I guess this is one of the reasons why I like movies that were made between the late 90s and early 2000s, as it's much grittier than what's produced today. The climax of the movie is reminiscent of a Cronenberg-esque body horror. Joe's comeuppance is a tragic turn of events that comes off quite hilarious once you really think about it. I don't want to spoil anything, but this ending really needs to be seen to believed. The climax of Help I'm a Fish is creatively disturbing and makes me give the movie much more respect for unapologetically throwing horror at the audience. I honestly think this movie is a forgotten gem that should be considered when animated film lists are created. I wouldn't say it's as good as Finding Nemo or as scary as Monsters House, but I do recommend you give it a watch. It's really wacky, it has a great lead characters, high stakes and a traumatic climax that only alternative animation could get away with. But with all that to say, thank you for listening to my bite-sized review. If you have any other movies you'd like me to speak on, please do drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sims_Key and on Instagram at @__KeyJaws. Key out.